At this point, we have a nice shaped dome on this pin, but as hopefully you can see, I think that's showing up, the edges are not seated down against the handle yet, and so this is a sharp edge on this side, and that's no bueno. So we need to take the finer point punch, this one, and we need to come around the perimeter of this, work our way around it, and drive that sharp edge down and eliminate that. At this point, we've got the edges all the way around the perimeter of this thing seated against the wood, so you can run your finger over there and there's no sharp edges, so that's much better. And you can actually get a surprisingly nice finish on it just with the hammer and punch. But the next thing is to go ahead and clean this up and get a nice polish on it. I put a piece of masking tape on here, and then use my thumbnail, just kind of work the tape down around the pin, because we want to be able to see real clearly the outline of it. And now we're going to go to the Kratex wheel, and we're going to actually cut through the tape and polish the top of that pin. First thing I do is sharpen up the edge of this. Being a knife edge Kratex, I guess that sort of sounds intimidating to some people, but it's important to have a crisp edge here so that we can get in and work around that pin without actually cutting into our handle material. And so I chew this up. I just take one of my diamond rotary burrs and actually start the Foredom up and dress this down. And put a nice crisp edge on there. They actually make a diamond coated tool to do that with, but I didn't see any reason to buy it when I can just use something I already have. Now you just need to position yourself where you're comfortable and you can see well, and that's probably not going to be easy to see on camera, but I need to have this where I can see it. And the nice thing about the Foredom is you have a foot control. It's just like a pedal in a car. Faster you want this thing to turn, the more you push the pedal down. But then I just cut through the tape and you work around the pin, just work down to the edges of the pin. This is a medium Kratex, by the way. If there's a trick to this, it's just that you move the knife around instead of trying to work it from one spot. You want to try to go 360 around this thing so that you can come down right to the edge of the pin without cutting into your handle material. And this thing isn't, it's not like a saw blade. It's not just going to buzz right into your handle material, but it definitely will abrade it. So you want to try to stay off the handle material. If you do, you can probably sand it out, but it's much better just not to let this thing dig into the handle material to start with. And I always get a little bit of buffing compound right around the pin. A little bit of WD-40. Should get that right off. And now one thing I like to do, it's nice and smooth and I don't feel anything protruding in a bad way, but I like to take this to the buffer, a spiral sewn wheel and white rouge, and just work around the pin just real lightly at 360, and I do that to both of them just to make sure everything's nice and smooth and it's got a nice even polish on it.